It's 9 more minutes. I'll give you the best. No problem. Whatever it's worth.
Protect! Georgia.
Come on, Abby, you got it. 1-9, you got it. Come on,
We welcome you on Brookdale TV. We start the bottom of the first inning. Brookdale finds themselves down 6-0 as Jillian Fay leads off first for the Jersey Blues. First ball swinging, popped it up foul. That'll come back out of play. And the count 0-1. Brian Goudsward here with you on the broadcast. We thank you for being with us on Brookdale TV on a sunny but pretty cool afternoon here in late April. Jersey Blues taking on a powerhouse team in Mercer as the pitch is low. 1 strike. Jamie Vigil is on deck, and then Audra Lowe for Brookdale in the opening inning. Izzy Bonacci, the right-hander, starting pitcher for the Mercer Vikings, brings the next pitch, and it's in there for a called strike about letter high. So 1 strikes. And now the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back to the fence. It remains 1-2 on Fay. who was batting at .419 this season with 1 home run and 18 runs batted in. Brookdale comes in 1 game over 500 at 12-11 for the year. Next will be a 1-2 pitch from Bonacci, and here it comes. Taken just off the plate. So the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brookdale surrendering 6 runs in the top of the first inning today against a very difficult opponent they're going against in Mercer. That's knee high, called a strike, and Jillian Fay caught looking. So 1 up, 1 down. And Jamie Vigil will be next, the Brookdale third baseman. It's Izzy Bonacci, right-hander for Mercer. Vikings who lead Brookdale by a 6-0 score. First pitch on the way, and it missed a little bit low. 1-0. Vigil batting at .254 this season. She has a home run this year. Waits on a 1-0 pitch. Here it comes, and it's a check swing. It's going to be a fair ball. Bonacci off the circle to field it and make the throw, and that's the second out. So a little dribbler off the bat of Vigil on a check swing, and Bonacci made the play fairly easily. So the first 2 retired. That'll bring up Audra Lowe, left-hand hitter. 2 at bases empty. And the first one coming to Lowe, taken low outside, ball 1. Lowe is the only Jersey Blue with multiple home runs this year. She has 2 to go along with 14 driven in. A .338 batting average. 1-0 the count. Another one skips in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Lowe trying to keep this inning going. Mallory Shevlin waiting on deck. And now the 2-0 delivery. Popped up. Third baseman Acevedo charging, makes the catch. That retires the side. So they go in order 1, 2, 3 after one in Lincroft. 6-0 Mercer. Top of the second inning here in Lincroft is Mercer batting with a 6-0 lead on the Jersey Blues. Mercer sent 10 to the plate in the opening inning, scoring 6 times. As that ball skips in there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sierra Acevedo to get it started for the Vikings. This is a Division II program, and they're in first place in their section of the standings, a record of 35-5. Down and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Waiting on deck, Maya Patel and then Emily Wiskowski for Mercer. Sarah Nazaro is the starting pitcher for Brookdale for this game 1. That one crossed a little bit upstairs. So behind now 3-1. 2, 3, and 4 part of the order for Mercer in this inning. Acevedo already won at bat in this game, grounded out to third. Here she takes pitch up high, ball 4, and she's on to start the inning. So it brings in Maya Patel, left-hand hitter. Extra base hit her first time. She had a double. And that one bounces to the plate, knocked down by Ford, but the runner moves up. So Acevedo now to second base. We'll take a look at how Brookdale lines up defensively behind Nazaro when we get a moment to do so.
Can you have your place move that hitting net? It's right.
Now we got a quick stoppage while the home plate umpire is going over some sort of protocol. A 1-0 count on Patel. Looks like they're moving something around. So now we're ready to resume with a 1-0 pitch. Check the swing off the plate, and it's 2-0 now. Waiting on deck, Emily Wiskowski after a damaging opening inning for Mercer. And that one goes to the backstop, and that'll enable Acevedo to take third base. 6 runs on 4 hits, all of that in the first. And now Acevedo has started this inning off with a walk. Patel now with the runner at third, watches 2 high, ball 4. And the first 2 are on. So runners at the corners. Emily Wiskowski stands in. She made one of the 3 outs in the first inning for Mercer. Nobody out here as she dribbles one up the third baseline. Foul on the count 0-1. Wiskowski was retired on a pop-up to shortstop. Rest of the defense for Brookdale in the outfield, they have Shevlin, Jillian Fay, and Lowe. That's left to right. On the infield, it's Vigil with Campbell on the left side. Kisberth and Jessica Fay are on the right side as the pitch comes in a little bit low. And Abby Ford doing the catching for Nazaro. 1-1 pitch, here it comes, and it's slugged down the left field line, and foul. Over for a look came Shevlin, but out of play. So we'll do the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch again on Wiskowski, who is batting at .487 this season. Quite a batting average that she takes into play, and that's too high. 2-2 the count. Well, 2 walks to start off this inning. Another deep count on Wiskowski with Angelina Guida waiting next. And it's a little one-hopper back to the circle. Get the out at first, trying to score, and safe. So Acevedo with the aggressive base running as Brookdale gets an out on it, getting Wiskowski, but Acevedo scores to make it 7-0. And now it's Angelina Guida. Had a base hit her first time up, scored a run. And she takes outside a little bit high, 1-0. So 7 runs already for this Mercer team. Brookdale finds themselves in a sizable hole in the early going. Pitch down low, and it's 2-0. Teams will play a doubleheader today. They met for 2 on Mercer's home field earlier in the season back in March. Hit hard, and that's a base hit going into center field. They wave around Patel, and she comes in to score, taking second Guida with another run batted in, and it's 8-0. So 8-0 Mercer. Abby Bell, the batter, she has the biggest hit of the game so far, called a strike. Bell had a 3-run first-inning home run, her first time up. And for Bell, that was home run number 7, which is now tied for the team lead. That one skips away from Ford. Down to third goes Guida. Only 1 out in the inning. Mercer got 6 in the first, 2 more in this inning for an 8-0 advantage. Another one that gets by Ford, now trying to score Guida, and she's in. So the 3rd run of the inning, a wild pitch. Mercer 9-0. Two balls and a strike to Bell. Here comes the pitch. Down the left field line and foul. So Bell hit another one hard after hitting her 7th home run earlier in the game. In fact, just the last inning. It's a chilly late April day. Temperature not much better than 50 degrees this afternoon. That's rocketed in a left field for a base hit, so Bell is now 2 for 2. This one's a single. And Madison Jobes will be the hitter. Drew a walk her first time up, scored a run. Bounces to the plate, 1-0. Well, Sarah Nazaro on the mound has not had many starting outings this year. Another ball hit hard. That'll find its way into left field for a hit. Stopping at second is Bell. That's now 3 straight hits. Well, you figure it'll be Mallory Shevlin to get the start in Game 2, as she's been the #1 pitcher for the Jersey Blues this season. But Nazaro getting the call in Game 1. They've only used 3 different pitchers this year. First ball swinging. That one is going to be down. Diving attempt by Jillian Hill, couldn't get it. Now the bases are loaded. So a base hit for McKenna Spack. She didn't get all of it, but dunked went in there for a blue pit. So 4 straight Viking hits. Ada Castrol now the batter, and she watches a little bit high, 1-0. Castrol is the designated player in the order, hitting in the number 9 spot. And 2-0. She reached on an error, a ground ball that Brittany Campbell didn't handle cleanly at shortstop, so Castrol reached. And now it's 3-0. Well, Nazaro has struggled a bit finding the strike zone. 4 walks so far, but last 4 Mercer hitters have all gotten hits. And here's another walk. And that's going to score the 10th Viking run. Not even 2 innings complete. So an RBI for Castrol on the bases loaded walk. And it's back to the top of the order as they batted around in both of the frames so far. That one gets away from Ford. Another run comes in. That's Jobes. 11-0. And 2 now in scoring position. Kelsey Odell, the batter, 1 out of 2. 2-0 count now as Odell started the game with a double and scored. Retired her last time up on a grounder to third base. And here's a little knuckler over the pitcher's circle, played by the second baseman Kisberth, throwing to third where they got the runner in a rundown. And can Brookdale get the out? They do. A run scores on the play to make it 12-0, but Brookdale able to record the second out of the inning. So on the fielder's choice, Odell reaches, and the batter will be Acevedo, her 3rd time to the plate. Hitless in 2 trips so far, grounded out and walked. And here's a grounder to the left side. Nice play on the backhand by Campbell. Long throw, can't be handled by Fay, and the runner is safe. So Maya Patel, first ball swinging. That's heading toward the dugout and will be back onto the grass, out of play, 0-1. Patel on base twice with a double and a walk, and she's scored a pair of runs. Mercer 12, Brookdale nothing. We're only in the top of the 2nd. And the next from Nazaro on the way is high and away. 1-1. Well, you knew this was going to be a tough doubleheader for the Jersey Blues. Down the line, foul, wide of the first base bag. I mean, a Mercer team that's Division II, but a 35-5 record. And they played significantly more games than Brookdale, who's only played 23. Mercer is about ready to wrap up their season. Their next doubleheader will be final games. That one goes to the backstop, and the runner moves up. So I got Odell at third, Acevedo, the runner, at second, both in scoring position. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Out to right field, going back low, and she makes the catch. A nice play right up against the fence. So the Wind got a hold of that ball, otherwise that might have been a 3-run homer. As is, it's 12-0 Mercer after 1.5. I'm Brian Gadsford on Brookdale TV. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Jersey Blues are down 12-0. Mallory Shevlin to lead it off against Izzy Bonacci. First pitch is popped up, foul ground off first, and that'll be out of play, out by the bleachers. And the count 0-1. Middle of the order up for Brookdale after they went down 1-2-3 against Bonacci in inning number 1. Shevlin getting the start in left field for game 1. We figure she'll be pitching for game 2. On the 0-1. Cut on and missed way out in front of that one. So it's 0-2. Brittany Campbell is on deck, and then Jessica Fay for the Jersey Blues. Bonacci ahead 0-2. And missed with a fastball, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, Shevlin has been Brookdale's best at the plate. .471 average, 1 home run, 26 driven in for the sophomore. And down the right side again and out of play, nearly the same spot that she fouled off the first pitch of the at-bat. And Shevlin out of Middletown High School North. Got both of the Middletown high schools represented on this Brookdale team, both North and South. And Shevlin, the former North Lion. 1-2 the count. And Bonacci deals. Lined base hit over third. That goes into left field, and Shevlin takes the turn and has the first Brookdale hit. A well-struck single. And it'll bring up Brittany Campbell, the shortstop. So Jersey Blues start the long uphill climb ahead of them, down by a dozen runs. Well, start with the leadoff player on. That's Shevlin. This ball is popped up behind the plate, and it'll be out of play as Bell went over for a look. Check out how Mercer lines up defensively. They have Wiskowski, Spack, and Jobs. That's left to right in the outfield. It's Acevedo and Odell on the left side. Guida and Patel are on the right side of the infield. And Bell does the catching for Bonacci. It's ready now with an 0-1. And again, it's popped foul, and that's up and over the high fence behind the plate. 0-2 on Campbell, who is batting at .357, has not homered with 17 runs batted in. One of the 3 sophomores that Brookdale has on the roster this season. In a 2-strike hole here against Bonacci, the pitch is fouled toward the visiting dugout right off the fence. Brookdale comes off a doubleheader in which they matched up against another Division II opponent. That was Lackawanna, a school in Pennsylvania. They handled them, swept the doubleheader, winning both games. Just got a piece, did Campbell. Scores in those 2 games at 9-8 win in game 1, and then they took the second game by a 4-2 count. So that lifted them to 1 game over 500, but in danger of dropping to the 500 mark with a loss today. Strike 3 called, so Campbell called out on strikes, 1 away. And Jessica Fay, the batter. First baseman for Brookdale in this game 1 watches a fastball strike over the inside part of the plate. And it's 0-1. Faye, who has seen most of her action behind the plate this year, but she's getting the call at first base. And swung on and missed, so a 2-strike count quickly. With Shevlin on at first, 1 out in the inning. And Abby Kisberth waiting in the on-deck circle. Bonacci now with an 0-2 pitch. And it's hit on the ground to second. Right there is the out at second and the turn for the double play. So they turn it 4-6-3, starting with Guida. Brookdale turned aside in the second. And after 2, Mercer leads by a 12-0 score. Emily Wiskowski leading off the top of the 3rd, and the pitch is down low, 1-0. So Mercer has the middle of the order up. It's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. New pitcher for the Jersey Blues. This one is out into right center field and down onto the grass for a hit. So Wiskowski picks up her first hit of the day, a leadoff single. Well, Mercer has scored 6 runs in each of the 2 innings today for a 12-0 lead. And Angelina Guida, who's already had a good day at the plate, a couple of hits, a single and a double. Ball 1. Brookdale finds themselves in a big hole. They'll look for a more competitive game 2 today. Back toward the circle off the glove of Faye, fielded by Kisberth, but doesn't have a play. So the first 2 are on in this inning. And Abby Bell now, 2 for 2 for the Mercer catcher, a 3-run homer and a single, and she's scored twice, and there's a first pitch strike. So looks like this one could be wrapped up after 5 innings today. Let's hit foul up the third base line. So Jillian Faye has taken over on the mound, or the circle that is, where she has started 5 games this year, and this is now her 2nd time coming on in relief. A hit 0-2, and goes to the off speed, missed with it. A ball and 2 strikes. Bell's home run earlier in the game, her 7th of the year, which is tied for Acevedo for the team lead. That'll be foul. And Acevedo entered the day in the top 5 in the region in home runs, so Bell now up there with her in that department for this high-powered Mercer team, who sports a 13-2 record on the road. And even better at home, where they are 20-2. 1 hops to the plate for a ball. So Faye now pitching, coming over from center field where she started this game. Delivers the 2-2 pitch, and it's down and away, ball 3. And the count is run full. Madison Jobs waits on deck. Mercer out ahead, 12-0. On the walk, and that will load them up. And out of the strike zone to start off Jobs. No advance from the 3 runners on base. Jobs has been on twice. She's walked and singled. She's scored twice. I mean, up and down this lineup, they have been getting on base at will against the combination of Nazaro and Faye. It's a Mercer team that comes in. They've won 21 straight. It's quite a streak that they're on. It's called strike, 2-1. And they have not lost since the latter part of March the 30th, when they fell against Delaware Tech. That's low. Runners on, it's Wiskowski at third, Guida's at second, Bell, the runner at first. Looking to add to a lead that's already a dozen. Very high, and that brings in a run. Well, nobody out in the inning. 2 singles and 2 walks have greeted Jillian Fay in her relief outing here. McKenna Speck stands in, and she slugs one out to right center field. Jillian Fay tracking it, but can't make the catch. And here's another run in. Guida scores. Everyone else moves up a base, and that makes it a 2-touchdown lead. So Ada Castile now. Base is still loaded and still nobody out. Ball 1. 14 runs on 11 hits. And Brookdale has managed just 1 hit so far. Another hard hit ball to left field, and that's down. More damage. Bell's in to score. Here's Jobs to score. Stopping at second, Castile. She's got a 2-run double, and it's Mercer 16-0. Right back to Fay, and there's mercifully the first out of the inning. So 1 out, still 2 on base. The batter, Acevedo. A strike. Well, Acevedo doesn't have a hit yet. She's walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Came in a 308 batter for the season. Watches ball 1 to even the count. And high. Off the glove of Ford, but runners stay put at second and third. Acevedo, the third baseman. On a 3-1 count, the pitch is high, ball 4, and that reloads the bases. So this Vikings team has now batted around, sending at least 9 to the plate in all 3 innings as they meet Fay at the circle before Maya Patel steps in from the left side. Now, Brookdale played this team for a doubleheader on March the 29th, and they were swept, shut out both games, losing 6-0 and 17-0. While this one, 16-0 the score. First one sails to the backstop, but runners hold, so 1-0. Maya Patel was doubled, walked, and fly deep to right field, in which the wind was blowing a different direction, might have been a home run. Little cue shot, Campbell on the charge and gets the out, a run scores. So 2 out now. Wiskowski comes up being named the Conference Player of the Week. Low and in 1-0. And she's got 1 hit and 3 trips so far, scored a run. 1-1. She's popped to short and hit a comebacker in her other 2 at-bats. 10th up in this inning for the Vikings, and it's flied out to right field. Easing back is low when she makes the catch. So that ends the inning, but 5 more across for a 17-0 Mercer advantage to the bottom of the 3rd. Abby Kisberth leads off for Brookdale. We start the home 3rd inning. Brian Goudsword here with you on Brookdale TV. I'm 1-0. Lower 3rd of the Brookdale order as Izzy Bonacci, the right-hander, has faced the minimum over her 2 innings and gotten plenty and plenty of run support. 17 total, cut on and missed. It's 1 ball and 1 strike with Abby Ford on deck and Sarah Nazaro behind her. Mercer has had big innings in all 3 of their trips to the plate, as it's now 2-1. They scored 6 each in the 1st and 2nd, 5 more in the 3rd. Brookdale, no runs on 1 hit. And fastball misses, 3-1. So Kisberth, who's one of the 3 sophomores, only 11 total players on the Brookdale roster for this season. Only 3 returning from last year's group. A called strike. Now the next will be a payoff from Bonacci. And it's on the way. Ball 4 to start the inning, so they got a leadoff base runner. So here's Abby Ford, the catcher, hitting in the number 8 spot in the order. First at bat of the game. Popped it up, and that'll be out of play up and over the Mercer dugout. 0-1. Ford is batting over 300 at 308. No homers, 11 runs batted in. Wind in the 0-1, a strike. Now, this Mercer team, they've used 4 pitchers this year, and each of them has an ERA that's under 2. So they have been getting it done and then some, both pitching and hitting, where they've been a slugging team all season, hitting over 30 home runs this year. That's the 2nd time that Brookdale has seen Bonacci this year. They didn't have much luck against her in the first meeting on Mercer's home field. We're shut out, managed just 1 hit. Well, they've got 1 hit so far as we play bottom 3. 1-2. As we come to you live from the Jersey Blue dugout, which this is a new location for the broadcasts. Popped it up, and that'll be foul. So it remains 1-2 on Ford. Sarah Nazaro is waiting next. Mercer's got a huge lead here in game 1 of the doubleheaders, so for better play from Brookdale in the 2nd game today as that pitch comes in low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, still working tough at bats here despite the big hole. Kisberth started the inning with a walk, and now Ford has worked it to a 2-2 count. And the pitch as over short and down into shallow center field for a base hit. So Ford didn't hit it overly hard, but picks up the 2nd Brookdale hit. So here's Nazaro, who started the game in the circle, worked the first 2 innings, now takes her first turn at the plate and watches strike 1. 2-1 to start the inning. Kisberth at second. Ford is at first. We'll be back to the top of the order next. Squaring the bunt, and it's taken out of the strike zone. Or it was apparently a strike as Mazzaro offered at the pitch. Well, she struggled with the batting average, just a 140 hitter this year, but looking for a big hit. 1-2. Mazzaro out of Old Bridge, New Jersey, where she attended high school, the freshman. And she goes down on strikes for out number 1. So back to the top of the order now. Jillian Fay called out on strikes her first time up. A little bit high, 1-0. Bonacci, the right-hander for Mercer, comes in with a 12-3 mark and an ERA of 1.92. Cut on and miss to even it up. And the Vikings as a team, the staff ERA amongst their 4 pitchers, 1.69. So when you combine dominant hitting with dominant pitching, you get the record that it is for Mercer. 2-1 the count. And that's how you get a 35-5 record, and showing why they are not only Division II, but playing at an elite level against their competition. Called a strike, and it's 2-2. Kisberth is at second. Ford is at first with 1 out. Scheduled to play 7 innings, but this one could be done before that. Strike 3 called to get Fay, so she's out on strikes for the second time. And that's now back-to-back for Bonacci. So 4 strikeouts for the righty. Jamie Vigil, the batter, retired on a comebacker her first time up, 0-for-1. Popped it up, right side of the infield. It's playable and caught by the second baseman, Guida. And so Brookdale put the first 2 on, but then the next 3 retired in order. We played 3, Mercer way out ahead, 17-0. Angelina Guida will lead off for Mercer. First pitch is over for a strike, as Jillian Fay starts her second inning of work in the circle, switching places with Nazaro, who's now in center field. Hit sharply and through into right center field for a leadoff hit. So Guida takes the turn, and she is now 4 for 4 in this game. Now, came in a .398 batter, and that batting average is well over 400 now, as Abby Bell, the batter, and she's been on base 3 out of 3 times. Little looper towards short and grabbed by Campbell, the shortstop, for the first out. So they finally retire Bell, who had homered, singled, and walked, and scored 3 times. So 1 on, 1 out. Madison Jobs is next. Actually, we got a substitution. Natalie Santiago will take the turn at bat. Left-hand hitter. Ball 1. So Santiago taking the spot in right field, in which Jobs was the starter, and she scored 3 times with a single and a pair of walks. There's a strike over the outside edge, 1-1. Well, for Brookdale, you'd just like to see a clean inning here. Swing and a miss. Mercer scored 6 in the first, 6 in the second, 5 more in the third. 1-2, and Santiago pops it up right side, and taking charge and grabbing it is Jessica Fay. 2 out. So a couple of pop-ups as Fay has gotten 2 out, and now McKenna Spack, center fielder, just below the knees, 1-0. Spack, she's walked once, singled twice, scored 2. Lined into the glove at third of Vigil. They call it the hot corner for a reason. And Fay works around the leadoff single to work through it scoreless. Middle of the fourth now, still 17-0. Home fourth inning, Brookdale coming up here in a 17-0 hole against the Vikings. Audra Lowe ready to get it started with ball 1. So the Jersey Blues have 3, 4, and 5 up in the order. Lowe 0 for 1, retired on a pop-up to the left side and third base her first time up. That was back in the first. Grounder will get through past Guida at second, a leadoff single. So that's 3 hits for Brookdale. The first one was for Shevlin, who steps in now for a second time, 1 for 1, and called a strike with the first pitch fastball. Hitting in the cleanup spot, 1 home run this year. There's only one Brookdale player who has homered more than once, that time over the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Bonacci with the 0-2. Ran it a touch inside, 1-2 the count. Brittany Campbell waits on deck. For Brookdale, it'd be a positive sign to just chip away, see if they could find any kind of momentum going into game 2. Out at second, no relay throw, so they force Lowe at second base. Shevlin on after the fielder's choice, 1 on, 1 out. Brittany Campbell, the batter, struck out looking her first time up. One of 4 strikeouts for Bonacci, who starts off Campbell with ball 1. There's strike 1. And at the feet as she danced out of the way of that pitch, 1-1. And she went after a high fastball, so now a 2-strike count. Jessica Fay waits next. And Bonacci will come with a 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. And it's hit on the ground to second. Out at second. The relay throw not in time. So the second straight fielder's choice as they force out Shevlin. Campbell now on at first and 2 down. And Jessica Fay with 2 out, a fastball, strike 1. Faye grounded into a double play. They turned it 4-6-3. 2 out in the inning now, and Brookdale down. 17-0. Swing and a miss. So Bonacci gets ahead 0-2. Right-hander is looking for her 13th win this year against just 3 losses. Comes 0-2. Foul back to the fence. Plentiful sunshine on this Thursday afternoon, but it is quite chilly. Temperature tonight could drop into the 30s. And it's only about 50 degrees as we play game 1 today. On this 0-2 pitch, Jessica Faye watches it up high, 1-2. Teams will play game 2 of the doubleheader. Give them about a half-hour break in between games, and Brookdale will look to regroup and look for better results. Tipped off the bat of Faye. If she could keep the inning going, Abby Kisberth would bat in the inning. Now the 1-2 offering, off speed and missed with it. Bonacci has gotten 3 of her 4 strikeouts on the called variety, only 1 swinging. 2-2. Inside corner, strike 3. There's another strike 3 looking as she gets Faye. Brookdale gets a hit and leaves 1. We played 4. It's Mercer by 17. Ada Castiel leads off for the Vikings, ball 1. Which should be the final inning of this game 1, and then we'll play another one here this afternoon. As Mercer scored early and often against Sarah Nazaro. Now they're facing Jillian Faye. 2-0 count as Mercer sends up 9, 1, and 2 in the order as they bat in the 5th. There's a strike. Kelsey Odell, Sierra Acevedo scheduled to follow in the inning. On the ground, foul. Mercer is coached by Ryan Zakarski, who is running a powerhouse of a team this year. In fact, Mercer in their most recent game was decided after 5 innings, and it was a no-hit effort. Ball 4 to start this inning as Castiel walks. And it'll bring up Kelsey Odell. One for 4 in the game. She came into the day a batting average better than 500 at 543. Leading the region in RBIs with 56. 4 home runs this season. On 1-0. High 2-0. Toward the middle of the diamond, cut off by Campbell, flips to second, and too late. So Campbell didn't field it cleanly, and Castiel reaches second. So 2 on base as Mercer looks to add to what is already a considerable lead at 17 runs. Sierra Acevedo skips away. Down at third base goes Castiel. A big problem for Brookdale. They've given up too many free bases on wild pitches. The ball has just been running wild. So So runners now at the corners. Acevedo swings and fouls it back. So we'll have one last chance to bat in the bottom of this inning, and then in all likelihood, this one will be complete. 1-1. Flared out into center field. Waiting for it is Nazaro to make the catch, and the runner at third holds. That's Castiel. So one away. And Maya Patel stands in. Had a double her first time up, has been held hitless since, and watches strike one. She scored twice, has also walked and flied to right and grounded to short. And all adds up to a 1-for-3 game one for the first baseman. Popped it up toward the dugout and up over us. As we come to you on the third base side of the field, right from the Brookdale dugout. First time broadcasting from this location. One hops to the plate, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, they've got the bases cornered in this top 5th. Castiel on at third, Odell at first, and that's high and away. Jillian Fay winds the next one, and it's hit out to left field. It sends Shevlin back. She gets there, makes the catch. Tagging at third, Castiel comes to the plate. She scores. So a sacrifice fly for Patel and the 18th run of the ball game. Two out for Wiskowski, right-hand hitter. 1 hit and 4 trips on the ground, and that's foul. Oh, 1. Too high and outside. Wiskowski, base hit, came back in the third. She has popped out, hit a comebacker, and flied to right. Ripped in the left field. That's down along the line for a base hit. Stopping at second momentarily, but now taking third. And arriving safely. So Odell now at third. Wiskowski's in at second. They've got 2 on base. And here's Guida, who's arguably been the player of the game. She's working on a 4-for-4 day. A pair of... And is this 5-for-5? It is. Down on the grass, right center field. 1 run scores. Here comes his second. She drives in 2 runs on her 5th hit of the day. What a performance. And that is 20 on the board for the Vikings. Unbelievable. She's now the lone base runner as Abby Bell. Guida and Bell, they've been quite a tag team, hitting back to back in the lineup. Strike. Between them, they've been on base 8 out of 9 times. The only time one of them wasn't was when Bell popped out to short her last time up, and that was the 4th. Bell has the big blow, a first inning 3-run homer, a single and a walk since, 1 for 2. Hard hit and by Vigil in the left field. Well, he knew Mercer was a tough opponent. I don't think Brookdale expected quite this kind of a result. This has been a difficult one, to say the least. But this is a top-tier opponent. Ball 1. Natalie Santiago batting for a second time. She's taken over in right field. It is nearly a 3-touchdown deficit. It should be Shevlin pitching in Game 2, and Brookdale can hope for better results with their best pitching. And that one Ford able to keep in front of her. Ball 3. Well, 2 out in the inning. They have added 3 in this frame. Down to second, that squeezes by into right field. Now they're loaded up again. So 3 straight hits. That was a seeing eye single off the bat of Santiago. And McKenna Spack will be the 9th up in the inning, and that is now 4 out of 5 innings that Mercer has batted around. A strike. Spack has been on 3 times. Last time up, lined out sharply to third base. That was the only inning that the Vikings did not score in the 4th. Tipped it foul, 0-2. A very off-speed pitch goes off the glove of Ford as he really turned down the velocity with that changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Spack fouls off another. Pretty breezy afternoon. It does not feel like the late part of April. I mean, it is chilly. Popped up foul, that's how to play. Again, the 1-2. And rolled it up there to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded. There's 2 out. And it's Mercer 20-0. Campbell on the backhand, and it goes off the glove. 1 run scores. Here comes his second. Throw to the plate. Won't get her. And the beat goes on. Ada Castiel, her 5th at bat, called strike. And she has been on base all 4 of her previous trips. It's pretty good production out of the number 9 position in the order. Strike 2. Swing and a miss, and Ford will throw down to first to complete the putout, and we'll head for the bottom of the 5th, and Brookdale's down 22. Bottom of the 5th now, Brian Goudsward on Brookdale TV. Game 1 of the doubleheader, and in all likelihood this will be the final trip to the plate for Brookdale in Game 1. Ball 1. Abby Kisberth leads off. Brookdale has 7, 8, 9 up in the order, but it's all Mercer, leading 22-0. 4-0. They've scored multiple runs in 4 out of 5 innings. 2-0 on Kisberth. Ford and Nazaro scheduled to follow in the inning. And 3-0. So trying to make it a little difficult on Bonacci and not cruise through a 5-inning win. And she's scattered 3 hits, and that's it. No runs. Taking all the way a strike. Kisberth has been on base via a walk and her only plate appearance in the 3rd. Ball 4, so she walks for a second time on a leadoff base runner. So Abby Ford had one of the 3 Brookdale hits, a 3rd inning single. Swings away at the first one, foul ground, and it lands, and it's foul. Well, Brookdale started the day 4th place in the region standings, but a loss here would drop them to a 500 record. They'd be 12 up and 12 down. Have been playing very good here at home, winners of 7 of their previous 9. That's hit foul. And they didn't play their first home game here until the late part of March, so they really haven't played very many games at home. Only 9 compared to 14 away. Really haven't played a lot of games in total when you compare it to how many Mercer has played. Sharply to short, could be 2. The step, the throw, 2 out. So base is empty. Mercer's 1 out away from a Game 1 win, and it coming in blowout fashion. Brookdale hasn't had many games like this, but then again, they haven't played many teams quite like Mercer. Swinging strike 1. And all you can do is try to regroup after a break between games and hope for an A effort in Game 2. Showing bunt, it's down, it's played by Bonacci, and that'll wrap it up. So Game 1 in the books. We're done after 5 innings on the Mercy rule by a final count. Mercer 22, Brookdale nothing. So we will take a break in between games here. Brookdale now with a 500 record. They are at 12 and 12. And we will see you here for the broadcast on Game 2 coming up shortly. Thanks for watching on Brookdale TV. We welcome you back here on Brookdale TV. It's Game 2 of the doubleheader with the Jersey Blues and the Mercer Vikings. And we're underway with ball 1. And it's Sarah Nazaro who makes the start in the circle. So she pitches both ends of the doubleheader here today and deals a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kelsey Odell, leading it off for the Vikings. Odell reached base 3 times in Game 1, and just about every Viking reached base that number of times. 2 balls and a strike. Sierra Acevedo is on deck, and then Maya Patel in the opening inning. And the 2-1 delivery is line base hit in the left field, so Mercer just picks up where they left off with a leadoff hit. So Sierra Acevedo stands in now. She's the 3rd baseman, both ends of the doubleheader today. Actually held without a hit in game 1. She might have been the only Viking who was held without a hit on the wild pitch. Odell to second base. And Nazaro worked 2 innings in game 1 and was tagged with a dozen runs. She misses the mark there, and it's 2-0. A little bit low. While walks were part of the problem for Nazaro earlier in the afternoon, she issued 4 free passes. On 3-0, it's taken ball 4, so a single and a walk to start this game. That'll bring up Maya Patel. Looks at strike 1. A Mercer first baseman was on base a couple of times, also had a sacrifice fly. 1-1, it kicks away from Ford, and now the runners to second and third. Well, a few changes defensively for Brookdale. It's the same group, but a few in different spots. In the outfield, you have Vigil, Shevlin, and Egriu. That's left to right. Fly ball left field. That's Vigil. She's got it. Tagging at third, Odell. Throw to the plate won't get there. It's a sacrifice fly for Maya Patel to score the game's first run, and Mercer has a 1-0 lead. So the batter now, Emily Wiskowski, right-hand hitter. 1-0. On the infield, Brookdale has Campbell and Fay on the left side, with Kisberth and Lowe on the right side, and Abby Ford, second straight game catching Nazaro. Another one well struck, right center field. That's down into the gap and extra bases. Turning third, Acevedo. She heads home, and it's an RBI double for Emily Wiskowski to make it 2-0. This Mercer lineup, they just continue their relentless pace. Izzy Bonacci with a shot right back to the circle and snagged by Nazaro. A hard hit second out. As Bonacci attacking the first pitch, hit it right back to Nazaro, who made the play. So an L1 in your scorecard, second out of the inning, Angelina Guida, and she did not make an out in game 1. 5 at-bats, 5 hits, 1-0 in the dirt. Now what a game she had, with 4 of the 5 hits going for singles and the other a double, and she scored 4 times. And now she's got a 2-0 count. Came in a .398 batter, and that has gone way up. On 2-0, she fouls it back, and that hits the fence behind home plate. And Sarah Nazaro looking for better results than she had in the first game. Can't be easy getting the assignment to pitch both games of a doubleheader. Sharply to short, Faye's got it, and that'll end the inning. So they score 2, and that's it. And now Brookdale will come to bat in the bottom of the first in a 2-0. Brookdale coming to bat in the bottom of the first. They're down 2-0 in this game 2. And Jessica Adams winds up the first one. Ball 1 to the backstop, 1-0. Jillian Fay to lead it off. She started game 1 in center field, ended up taking over pitching. And now she's the shortstop for this game 2. Jamie Vigil, Audra Lowe to follow in the inning. And it's to the second baseman, Guido, 1 out. So Jamie Vigil, the batter. And she was at third earlier today and now is in left field for this game. Taps one foul, strike one. One out, nobody on. Brookdale had just 2 turns through the lineup in game 1, and they were shut out over 5 innings, lost it 22-0. There's a strike. And now they face Jessica Adams, who comes in with a 1.47 ERA, which is even better than the Game 1 starter, Izzy Bonacci, who held Brookdale off the board. On the ground left side, and it can't be handled by Acevedo and Odell, and Vigil is safe. So the win for Mercer in Game 1 extends their winning streak to 22 consecutive. Brookdale just hoping they can hang in there with this Viking team for Game 2 today. And if they're the team that snaps the winning streak, well, then this will be a very memorable game. Swing and a miss for strike one. Audra Lowe, right fielder earlier, now she's the first baseman. Had a hit in 2 trips in Game 1. Brookdale managed just 3 hits in the ball game earlier today. And that one got a piece of the catcher, Bill, and that stung. It looked like it went right off the helmet. And certainly sounded like it did, so teammates are gonna come over and make sure she's okay. The athletic staff out there as well. Yeah, looks like she's good to go. Getting high fives. Low in a 2-strike hole here. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the first. 2-0 Mercer. And it's 1-2. Mallory Shevlin waits on deck. And Adams winds up the pitch, and it's foul back. So Brookdale now 12-12 for the year. They're 4th place in the Region 19. The loss earlier today, just the 3rd time they've fallen here in Lincroft. They had been 7-2. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. She went after, went in the dirt, and that's strike 3. So 2 out, and it'll bring up Shevlin. Runner at first, Vigil. Shevlin moves over to play center field for this game. Ball 1. 1 for 2 in Game 1. And I mentioned in the first game that we expected Shevlin to pitch this game, but it turns out, as it's hit on the ground, is short, flipped to second, and that'll end the inning. She pitched both games of the last doubleheader, so they're saving her for the upcoming doubleheader that Brookdale has, so she plays both games in the outfield today, and we are through 1 inning in Game 2, 2-0 Mercer. And we start the 2nd inning here in Game 2 today with Mercer sending up the lower third of the order, and ball 1. Abby Bell leading it off, and she's the catcher, right-hand batter. Tapped it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is McKenna Spack and then Madison Jobs for the Vikings. Poured in 22 Game 1 runs. They scored a pair in the 1st inning of this contest. Off the plate. And Bell had a very active Game 1, including a 3-run homer, 3 hits in total, scored 4 times. And it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count on the Viking catcher. Who hit her 7th home run of the year. As north of 40 runs batted in, and she's on with a walk to start the inning. So the second straight inning that the Vikings have put the leadoff hitter on against Nazaro. And McKenna Spack, center fielder, hitting in the 8th spot, and that's high and away. And when you scored 22 runs, if you're head coach Ryan Zakarski, there's really no need to make any changes, and he didn't. The only change is who's pitching for his team. That's left side foul. One ball, 1 strike. And here it comes. Too high. Bell on it first after drawing the walk. Mercer batting here and there, second inning. And a good block by Ford behind the plate. Nazaro's already walked 2. And now a 3-ball count on Spack. And another walk. So the first 2 are on, they both walked, and now it's the number 9 hitter. Madison Jobs showing bunt and takes ball 1. Jobs reached base all 3 times in game 1 today. That one squirts by Ford, but not far enough for the runners to make a break for it. Jobs walked twice and singled in her 3 at-bats before she was lifted later in the game. And she fouls the 2-0 back. Bell is at second, Spack is at first, and now the 2-1 to the plate is popped foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Jobs takes that one that rolls to the backstop, and now the runners are at second and third. Well, we mentioned it in game 1, the number of wild pitches that have been, or that were problematic. Just too many free bases that Brookdale gave up. Now the payoff pitch is ball 4. So Nazaro has started this second inning by walking the bases loaded. Now you get into the dangerous hitters at the top of the order. Kelsey Odell. And that's tapped to the left side and fielded in foul ground by Campbell, strike 1. Odell got this game started with a single and scored the first of what would be 2 runs in the first. Mercer has a 2-0 lead. High fly to left. That should hang up there for Vigil, and she squeezes it, tagging at third. Bell. Throw comes in toward third. It's a sacrifice fly for Odell. And it's Mercer 3-0. So the back runners move up as well on the sacrifice fly as Acevedo, the batter, takes a strike. She drew a walk her first time up and scored. Mercer leading 3-0. And the 0-1 down low. And that one gets away aggressively. Spack trying to score the tag too late. So that ball did not get too far from Ford, but Spack was right on top of it and charges home with the Mercer's 4th run. 2nd this inning. Well, in game 1, they scored 6 apiece in innings number 1 and 2. So the 2 runs is an improvement for Brookdale pitching, but again, they find themselves in a hole. 2-1 on Acevedo, and she grants it foul. It's played by head coach manning the 3rd base coaching position, Ryan Zakarski. His team sits in 1st place in the Division II section of the Region 19. Another ball in the dirt. So it's gone to a full count on Acevedo. Mercer has already drawn 4 walks, and this ball is out to center field for Shevlin. Makes the catch, runner tagging. Here comes the throw, won't get her. And the 2nd consecutive sacrifice fly as Odell and Acevedo produce RBIs, and it's 5-0. So the bases are now empty, but Mercer has put up a 3 spot as Maya Patel 1-0. How about for Mercer? They've got 5 runs on the board, and 3 of them have come on sacrifice flies. Patel had the first sacrifice fly, and now Odell and Acevedo, the last 2 hitters in this inning. Mazzaro behind 2-0, and 3-0. That one way off. Needs to throw a strike here, and she does. Three and one with 2 out. And a pop fly to left. Coming in and toward the line is Vigil to grab it, and that'll end the inning. But they scored 3, the last 2 on sacrifice flies, and we're in the middle of the 2nd. It's Mercer 5, Brookdale nothing. Bottom of the 2nd inning now, game 2 of the doubleheader. Brittany Campbell, first ball swinging, flies one out to left center field, and it's Spack who comes over to get it, out number 1. So Campbell retired on 1 pitch. It'll bring up Jessica Fay, who was the designated player in the lineup, hitting in the number 6 spot, fastball strike. Fay was at first base earlier today. And the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Abby Kisberth waits next. And Brookdale's down by a 5-0 count as they bat bottom 2nd. 2-1. And Fay was 0 for 2. Grounding into a double play and taking a called 3rd strike in game 1. 2-1 to the plate. Fouled off to the right, up and over the dugout. Defensively for Mercer in this game, too, and they've got the same unit out there. In the outfield, Wiskowski, Spack, and Jobs. Here's the 2-2. Full count. On the infield, Acevedo and Odell are on the left side, Guida and Patel on the right side, with once again Bell doing the catching for this time Jessica Adams. She comes with the 3-2, and it's fouled off. Brookdale had a doubleheader sweep as recently as Tuesday at Lackawanna. Couple of close games. They won by 1 run and 2 runs, respectively. Been a different story today against a very tough opponent. And now the at-bat for Fay ready to continue as Adams ready with the next offering, and it's high, ball 4, and Brookdale has their second base runner. So first walk given up by Adams. And Abby Kisberth steps her way to the plate. Ball 1. And Kisberth was the only Jersey Blue to reach twice in game 1 as she walked both times. For the sophomore. Swing and a miss. Kisberth out of Jackson, New Jersey. Played her high school ball at Jackson Liberty. On this 1-1 pitch, she swings and misses. Down in the count now, 1-2. Abby Ford taking her swings on deck. Runner at first is Fay. The pitch, strike 3 called. They ring up Kisberth. So for Jessica Adams, her second strikeout, 2 out. And Ford, the batter. Got a base hit earlier in the day, part of a 1-for-2 game 1. 1-0. As she starts both ends behind the plate. Brookdale's had the same starting battery in both games today. And a bit high, 2-0. Lined over second base hit, going into right center field. Stopping at second, Fay, and so Brookdale's got something going here with 2 out. A base hit for Ford. So 2 on and 2 out. And Sarah Nazaro will be the batter. She went 0 for 2 earlier in the day. That's here with Fay at second and Ford at first. And the count 1-0. Popped it up. First baseman Patel will give way to Guida, and that retires the side. So a single and a walk, and they leave 2. And now after 2 innings complete, it's Mercer with a 5-0 advantage. And we start the 3rd inning with ball 1. As it's Emily Wiskowski leading off for the Vikings. Doubled her first time up. That was back in the first. It's Mercer with a 5-0 lead as we play this game 2. There's a called strike to even the count. And Mercer will send up the middle of their order, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters against Sarah Nazaro. This next pitch from the circle. Strike called. 1-2 on the reigning conference player of the week, Emily Wiskowski, the left fielder. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's Bonacci on deck and then Angelina Guida. We know all about the big day that she's had at the plate. Count full. So from 1-2 to 3-2. And high, ball 4. So 5 walks given up by Nazaro. And Izzy Bonacci will be next, and she was retired on a line drive right back to Nazaro. Made a nice catch in defense. In the last inning for Mercer, they loaded up the bases with 3 walks as this goes to the backstop and Wiskowski to second base. They loaded him up with walks and scored 3 runs without a single hit in the inning. That's something that you see very often. Now the 1-0. Bonacci sees that one high and away. And it's 3-0. While Mercer, they scored 22 in the first, and that same number is what their winning streak now stands at. 22 consecutive wins. On the ground at third, handled by Campbell. And just in time to get Bonacci one away. So here's Guida, whom Brookdale actually saw make an out in the first inning on a granddad to short. Swing and a miss after going 5 for 5 in the first game of today's doubleheader. She was just peppering line drives all over the field. Very high. So she has seen her batting average reach above the 400 mark for the season. Here's the next from Nazaro, and it's too high. So ball 3. One on, one out, top of the third. And a pop-up to the left side of the infield for Campbell to see through the sunshine and make the catch. 2 down. And the batter next will be Abby Bell. Got that second inning started with the walk parade, as they had 3 straight reach base via the walk, and all 3 of them scored. Knocked down at home plate by Ford, 1-0. Two and 0. And for Nazaro, the problem more than anything else has been finding the strike zone. The walks and the wild pitches. In the air toward foul ground and unable to make the over-the-shoulder catch low in pursuit of it. So the at-bat for Bell will continue. And I imagine it must feel good to be in the sunshine. Not that it's warm, but certainly warmer than if you're in the shade or where we're broadcasting from here in the dugout on the third base side. 3-1 on Bell. Runner at second is Wiskowski. Here it comes. Hit hard and by Fay at short, rolling into left center field. Turning third, Wiskowski. She heads on in. And Abby Bell drives in another run, and now the ball rolls away, and she'll go to second. 6-0. So the 6-0 score, and they're not even a third of their way toward the Game 1 scoring total. 1-0 the count. McKenna Spack walked and scored. That was in the second. They've only had 1 hit combined over the last 2 innings, but yet 4 runs. And One hit was Bell's single in the last at bat. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Blocked by Ford. And upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike. If Spack got on, Madison Jobes would bat in the inning. That's hard hit and might have been off of the glove of Campbell into left field. Here's another run. Abby Bell trots on in, ending up at second base. McKenna Spack. Mercer 7, Brookdale nothing. And Madison Jobes, still 2 out in the inning. Runner now at second, 1-0. Jobes drew a walk, scored a run. Doubleheader that has gotten away from Brookdale, not having their best pitcher available for this matchup. Campbell handles this one, and that'll do it. But 2 more runs in, and we're in the middle of the third in a 7-0 game. Mercer in front. First pitch swinging, hard hit, and over the head of Spack in center field. On her way to second is Faye, takes the turn, heading for third, and she's safe. A lead-off triple. And finally something to feel good about on the Brookdale side of things as their dugout erupts with uproarious applause. And Jamie Vigil will be next, and she had a base hit her first time up in the first. So Brookdale trying to start the march ahead. They're down 7-0 as they bat bottom 3. And the first one on the way is popped up over in our direction and up over the roof and out of play. 0-1. So for Faye, the triple is her 5th of the season. She's standing at third base. 0-1 the count on Vigil. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it's a Brookdale team that's been a good offensive team throughout the season. They've got a team batting average around 400. Foul back, but they're facing a pitching staff that is just so difficult to do any kind of damage against. And the Vikings have been so stingy with a staff ERA under 2 for the year. 2 strikes in the count on Vigil, and Adams delivers in the dirt. And now the 2-2 pitch is line caught and getting back safely at third. So the line out to Acevedo, and Faye gets back to the bag, 1 out. And now Audra Lowe struck out swinging her first time up, left-hand hitter. And she gets the bunt down, charging Acevedo will go to first to get the out, trying to score and safe. Faye slides in safely, so Lowe lays one down, gets an RBI, and Brookdale has cracked the scoreboard for the first time today. It's now 7-1 Mercer. So 2 out bases are now clear. Mallory Shevlin out on a fielder's choice, her first time up to shortstop. Had a hit in game 1 earlier. First pitch, 1-0. So the triple got the inning started, and Faye races home on Lowe's bunt. And for Brookdale, at the very least, they will not get shut out. both games today. A run on the scoreboard. They trail 7-1. Next to Shevlin, she takes a strike. Well, Shevlin's been an outstanding two-way player, been Brookdale's best pitcher, and at the plate comes in with a .471 average. And you figure she will get a game pitching coming up this weekend when Brookdale is back in action next. Lined and foul down the line. But she worked both games of the doubleheader against Lackawanna, so that took her out of service for today, which is unfortunate. You'd like to have your best going against a team that's this good. One-two. Foul tipped off the glove, so the at-bat continues. As Bell could not squeeze what would have been strike three. Bases clear and 2 out. Brookdale scored once in the inning. We're in the bottom of the third. And again, the 1-2. Swing and a miss to put her away. But Fay gets a triple and scores the first run. We're through 3. Mercer, 7-1, the lead. Underway in this top of the fourth with strike one, Kelsey Odell. As they've got the top of the order up, do the Vikings. And she gets the bunt down and foul. So Odell will go back to the plate. She'll be followed in the inning by Sierra Acevedo and Maya Patel. Mercer 7, Brookdale 1. As Mercer vies for the doubleheader sweep and the season series sweep as they've won all 3 meetings. First 2 in Mercer County back in the month of March. Odell in this game, too, has singled and scored and delivered a sacrifice fly to left. And as she lines one to left center field, and that's a hit. Cutting over Shevlin to cut it off, to throw to second offline, and a leadoff double. So Kelsey Odell now with 14 doubles this season. And here comes Acevedo. She has walked and scored and hit a sacrifice fly. Ball 1. In fact, there have been 3 sacrifice flies for Mercer in this game. They came in after 2 innings, 1 in the first, 2 more in the second. 2-0. Ball 3. A little bit low, so walked her on 4 pitches. That's 6 walks given up by Nazaro. And Maya Patel hits the first one out to center field. Shevlin going back in front of the fence to make the catch. Tagging at second, Odell. She makes it to third. So Patel flies out for a 3rd straight time in this game. The first 2 had been to left. This one goes out to center. And there is 1 away.
Georgia.
So the batter, Emily Wiskowski, on base twice. 1 hops to the plate, 1-0. She has doubled and walked, scored once. Starting both games today in the left field spot. There's 1 low. 2-0. 6 walks given up by Nazaro, and she has not struck out a Viking. This one's in play to right for Egriu. She has the out, tagging at third. Here comes the run. The 4th sacrifice fly of the game. They might be heading on some sort of record for that. This one comes off the bat of Wiskowski, and the Mercer lead is extended to 8-1. So 2 out for Bonacci, hitless in this game on a liner back to the pitcher. Here's one on the ground, knocked down by Faye, and she doesn't have a play. And Bonacci is safe. So she is now 1 for 3. Looks like they may have charged an error instead. And taking a strike, Angelina Guida, who after her 5 for 5 game 1 has been held to an 0 for 2 start in this game with a grounder to short and a pop out to third. And that one rolls and gets away, and here comes a run. So Acevedo to the plate, Bonacci now at second base. And Mercer holds an 8-run lead. 9-1 the Vikings. 2-0 count on Guida. 3-0. Well, Brookdale hoping to avoid another short outing in this second game, but if it's 10 runs after 5, we are done. Ripped to left center field, and that ball is off the fence. Here comes Bonacci to score on its second with a ringing double. Angelina Guida, that is hit number 6 of the doubleheader, and it is now 10-1. And Guida has not been fooled. Hit that ball right on the screws. Here's Abby Bell. Off speed, gets away, and now the runner to third. Well, for Brookdale, you'd have to characterize it as sloppy play. And the defense has been less than airtight. That's a foul ball. But they've just given away too many free base runners. They got 7 walks issued in this game. And that's cracked out to center field and well hit. Shevlin reaches up to make the catch. A nice play to end the inning. Mallory Shevlin, as that was ticketed for potentially extra bases. But Mercer settles for a 3-run 4th inning and now lead Brookdale 10-1. Game 2 continues on Brookdale TV. Home 4th inning here at the softball field for this doubleheader on Brookdale TV. Brian Gadsford here with you. And Brookdale was blown out in Game 1 and hoping to avoid a similar fate here in this game. Ball 1, Brittany Campbell to lead it off. They've got 5, 6, and 7 up in the order. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Now they're going against tough pitchers to go against. Jessica Adams, the Game 2 starter for Mercer, has gotten 2 straight past Campbell, 1 and 2. Jessica Fay is on deck, and then Abby Kisberth in the Brookdale 4th. They have managed to run on 3 hits and trail 10-1. Campbell 0 for 1, retired on a fly ball to center field her first time up. And here's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Jessica Adams has struck out 1 in each inning so far. It amounts to 4 for the afternoon. And Jessica Fay steps in now, and she drew a walk her first time. Fouls off the first one. 0-1. Fay in the lineup as the designated player. In the dirt, 1-1. Brookdale's got more games coming up this weekend. They've got a doubleheader here on Saturday, and what will be a very busy day in Brookdale spring athletics, with both baseball and softball playing doubleheaders at similar start times. Fouled away. For the Brookdale baseball team, they will welcome in Rowan Glaster in what is a marquee matchup that we will have for you on Brookdale TV, so we look forward to that. And both of the spring teams winding down their seasons here into the last week and a half or so. And you would think that as we progress, we would be playing in some warmer temperatures. She could not hold, and that's the second strikeout of the inning. So Fay is out, 2 down, and Abby Kisberth, who was called out on strikes. And over first, down the line, foul. The Brookdale baseball team will start the 3-game series against Rowan Glaster with tomorrow's affair. They'll be on the road and then at home for the doubleheader on Saturday. 0-1, Kisberth takes it low. So Adams has fanned 5, only the 1 run against her, and 10 runs of support. A 10-1 score. Fouled away. One-two delivery. A little bit low. Two out in the inning, nobody on, and now the pitch. Popped up. That'll be out of play. Adams, if she can get Kisberth on strike, she would strike out the side in this inning. Here's the pitch. She got her swinging. 3 up, 3 down. They all go down on strikes. 4 innings complete. Mercer leads by a score of 10-1. McKenna Speck leading off top of the 5th, and strike 1 called. As they send up 8, 9, and 1 in the order. And Mercer leading Brookdale by a comfortable margin of 10-1. Called a strike. So Nazaro has poured in a couple of strikes consecutively on McKenna Speck, who has walked, doubled, and scored. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's Madison Jobes and Kelsey Odell to follow in the inning. On the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Crosses a little bit high. The count levels at 2-2. hit foul off the bat of Spack. Well, there has only been one inning in the two games combined today, as this one's high, a full count, in which Mercer has not scored. In this game, they have scored 2, 3, 2, and 3. Strikeout, but the ball gets away, and she'll reach first. So Spack swung and missed, but the pitch got away, and she's at first base. And Madison Jobs, right-hand hitter next. Cracks this one out to left field, and that ball is one hopped off the fence. On her way to third, Spack, she'll stop, and Jobs pulls in with a double. So two in scoring position without an out recorded. There should have been an out as Nazaro got Spack swinging. Ball one on Odell, but she reached as the pitch was wild, and then Jobs followed up with a double to left. So now Odell, 2 out of 2 in this game, also a sacrifice fly. She singled and doubled and scored a pair. That's how you set the table. And below the knees, so a 3-0 count. Just been far too many of these kind of at-bats against Nazaro. Ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. Well, one more run, and it will be a Mercy score. A strike to start off Acevedo. A sacrifice fly sandwiched between a couple of walks for the Mercer third baseman. Tipped it foul at the plate. And the sacrifice fly is one of 4 in this game, which is a lot of sacrifice flies. But they've scored runs in other ways too. And it's added up to a 10-run total. In the air to right. And it's Agriu to make the catch. Runner tagging, runner in. Spack scores, and now the runners move up as the ball kicks away. And it's now a double-digit lead at 11-1. So again, I don't know the record for sacrifice flies, but that is 5 in this game. And the second for Acevedo. And Maya Patel, left-hand hitter, 0-1. And Patel has hit the ball in the air all 3 times up, all 3 outs. One of them produced a run on a sacrifice fly. That was in the first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mercer now leading Brookdale 11-1. So that one gets away, heading for the plate. And in to score, Jobs. So they have now totaled 34 runs. And they've reached a dozen in this game. Patel with a pop-up in our direction, but the catcher, Ford, makes the play. Second out of the inning. So Patel retired. Emily Wiskowski has doubled, walked, and hit one of the bunch of sacrifice flies. 1-0. Lone runner out there now is Odell at third base. Well, Brookdale's getting a first-hand look at what an elite team looks like, and that is what Mercer has presented. They have been a handful for any opponent. "3-0 count, taking all the way a strike. On the walk. So between the walks and the sacrifice flies,
Left side, left side.
and Mercer is doing damage. Izzy Bonacci reached on an error last time to shortstop. She's hitless in this game. A 1-0 count. Hit the ball harder first time up, but right back at Nazaro, who delivers a 1-0, and it's lined and past Campbell. Odell comes in to score, stopping at second Wiskowski. It's a base hit and an RBI for Izzy Bonacci, 13-1. They just keep the line moving. The lead up to a dozen. Angelina Guido, a called strike. And all she's done today is have 6 hits in the 2 games. 5 earlier, had a doubler last time up, 1 for 3 in this one. Ball 1. And she is now the 8th to bat in this inning after they batted around, 4 times earlier today. That sinks a little bit low. And the 2-1 offering hit hard, and that gets by Fay into the left center field gap. Wave around, another run to score. Wiskowski. Here comes Bonacci, and 2 runs are in. It has just been relentless, the attack from Mercer, as they have scored 15 more. And now a shot to left field, but right at Vigil to squeeze it and end the inning. But the biggest inning yet, the Vikings put up 5, and now Brookdale's last at-bat's coming up, bottom of the 5th, in a 15-1 hole. Last chance for Brookdale. They bat bottom of the 5th. They're now down 15-1 in this game, too. First ball hit hard and through, a base hit. Abby Ford, leadoff single. And she's now 2 for 2. And then the doubleheader, now 3 hits and 4 at-bats. It'll bring up Nazaro. Aggressively charging in on what I guess was a bunting attempt. And now Nazaro will get some consulting from the third base coach. And Brookdale's got a whole new coaching staff this year. It's a little strange to be around a Brookdale team not coached by Bo Scanapico, who had a 37-year run here as the head coach. Multiple national championships, swing and a miss, but Bo retired after last season, so Tony Pasillo is the first-year head coach. They're trying to keep this program at a good level, and they've had a okay season. They're at 500. A loss in this game would drop them 1 game below. But they've been competitive. But certainly it's different not having Bo around. That's down in front of the center fielder Spack, so they've got back-to-back singles. And fact, though, they're going to honor Bo Scanapico by naming the field in his honor in a ceremony to come later this year in June. Jillian Fay, strike one. Well, Fay scored the only Brookdale run of the day, not just this game, but the doubleheader in total, after tripling and scoring when Lowe dropped down a bunt. Now Brookdale needs 5 runs to keep this game going. And a swing and a miss, kind of a 3/4 swing, but Fay could not hold up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ford's at second, Nazaro at first. They both singled leading off this inning. 2-2. On deck, Jamie Vigil. And fouled off to the right, and that's into the trees. Long at bat here for Jillian Fay. On another 2-2 pitch. A full count, a nice stop by Bell. And for Brookdale, the deficit is 2 touchdowns. 15-1, the Mercer lead, as we wind down this game 2. But Brookdale's got something cooking here with now the bases loaded and nobody out. So 2 singles and a walk against Jessica Adams. Jamie Vigil stands in. Single and a line out, 1 for 2. Jersey Blues trying to keep the line moving here in a big deficit. Ball 1. They will next play here on Saturday. The opponent is Camden. It'll be a doubleheader as they get back to a Division III opponent after facing Division II foes in their last 4 games with the Lackawanna doubleheader previous to this one. 1-1 pitch. A strike. Base is full of Jersey Blues on 1-2. It's hit on the ground at third. Up with it there, and the out, and the throw too late. So they'll get a run in. Ford scores. They force out Nazaro at third base, give Vigil credit for an RBI, and it's 15-2. And Audra Lowe is next. Jessica Adams has 2 more outs to get. Lowe has struck out and grounded to third. 0 for 2. And it's hit left side foul. Adams has struck out 6, and she has only walked 2. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. And ahead by 13 runs. Comes with the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cut on and missed. Late on that pitch. Mallory Shevlin, good hitter, waiting next. 1-2 coming up. Too high. Faye is at second, Vigil is at first. And now the 2-2 on its way home. Out to left, right at Wiskowski to make the catch. And the runners hold at first and second. Line drive off the bat of Lowe, but Wiskowski was in the right spot. So 2 out, Brookdale finds themselves down to their final out of the day. It'll be left to Shevlin to keep it going. And a pop-up. In the foul ground goes Patel, and she doesn't have a play on it over the side fence. Strike 1 on Shevlin. She's reached on a fielder's choice and struck out swinging 0 for 2. Starting both games today in the outfield, in left and in center. Two on, 2 out. The 0-1. Hit hard and through, a base hit. They'll hold the runner, and the bases are loaded. So it'll be Brittany Campbell. 0 for 2. She is fly to center and struck out swinging. On the ground, slowly to second. Guida picks it up, throws in time, and it's over. So the final tally in Game 2, Brookdale falls 15-2 after dropping Game 1, 22-0. Just overmatched against this Division II Mercer juggernaut, who came in at 35-5, and they extend their record to 37-5. Brookdale is now 1 game under the 500 mark after a couple of tough games here today. So just too much Mercer all afternoon long, and Brookdale will look to regroup as they welcome in Camden come the weekend, and that doubleheader will be on Saturday. We'll see you over on the baseball side as they take on Rowan Gloucester, with thanks to Sergei Kornienko and you for listening all afternoon long. Brian Gadsword saying thanks again as we say so long from the softball field here in Lincroft. Brookdale swept in a doubleheader. Join us for our next broadcast on Brookdale TV coming your way Saturday. Have a good night.